Alright, we're just gonna do this. So, yeah, I want to talk about what's going on with foreign policy right now in Syria. Um, I actually did a YouTube video on the issue of the Syrian Civil War back in 2011, I think. 2011 or 2012. Not sure the exact date. But if you look on my YouTube page here, you can find it, I'm sure. And I spoke out then about how war in Syria would be stupid. I spoke then about how we didn't need another quagmire like we had in Iraq. And we didn't need to be lied into another damn war. Well, here we are. It's April 2018. We have a new president now, of course. So we have Trump, no longer have Obama. And luckily, we didn't get bogged down too terribly during the Obama administration in Syria. Although that is what Hillary Clinton and John Kerry and some of the hardline people who were foreign policy advisors to Barack Obama. Of course, Kerry was Secretary of Defense, I think. Hillary was the Secretary of State. And there were others as well. Some of these people, these neoliberals, were foaming at the mouth, wanting war, and they wanted to send our boys, our troops over there. So here we are in 2018, 7 years later, and the Syrian Civil War has still not wrapped up. And, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dead later. Large parts of Syria, these cities have just been devastated and bombed out. There's not much left of a lot of these Syrian strongholds. Some of these cities where the rebels and some of the people who had affiliations with ISIS and with other rebel groups over there, where these people were holding out. But the bottom line is Assad, the dictator in Syria, is not a very nice guy. And, they more or less have a Middle Eastern dictatorship there. Now they have this alliance with Russia and Iran as well. So it's a good thing that America did not get bogged down in this mess over there before, because the situation is only messier now. And really, there's not much left of the rebels and these supposed terrorist groups over there. Some may be terrorists, some may not. I don't know. You'd have to study this stuff, like it was your job to know who the good guys are over there, who are the bad guys. Because I think the truth is, sorry, there's a water softener running in the background. The truth is that it's pretty gray. We don't know who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. So we had this incident in the city of Gouma, I believe, Gouma, just a few days back, where a bunch of civilians got gassed. Now, if I remember correctly, this has happened a number of times in Syria, and maybe it was one of the reasons that we wanted to send more troops in before. Now, from what I understand, we have 2,000 U.S. troops at 2 different bases that are already in Syria. There was a skirmish between American troops and some Russian mercenaries a while back. Not necessarily Russian troops, but Russian mercenaries that were funded by a Russian oligarch. From what I read, the oligarch wanted his mercenaries to kind of test the strength of the U.S. troops that are there. So there was a battle, and we killed a couple hundred Russian fighters, something, and I don't know how many of our guys got taken out in that battle. I read about it, but I don't know all the details. I don't have them all right in front of me. But where we are now is Trump and, probably Bolton and this new Pompeo is a new CIA director. Some of these people, I don't know where James Mad Dog Mattis is on this. Matisse, however they pronounce his last name. But a lot of these people in the Trump administration who are members of the cabinet, some of them are have a lot of diplomatic powers, like Nikki Haley, who goes to the UN all the time. Um, but they're saying that, you just had the tweet 2 days ago, whatever, Trump running his mouth saying that Russia, get ready, we're going to hit Syria with these missiles. It's going to be fast and swift, something to that regard. You're not going to see them coming. I mean, just ridiculous that we have a head of state, president, acting that way. But, of course, Trump is in political trouble now. Republicans have been losing special elections, congressional elections right and left. And people don't seem to be happy with the tax cuts they passed. And the fact that not much has been done to help working class and middle class people. You know, all these promises that were made by Trump when he ran for president. Some of the moves he's made on trade have been interesting. We'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out. See if it does help our manufacturing sector. And if it would help middle class workers. I'm open-minded on what the Trump administration has done on trade. Like I say, we have to wait and see how it plays out. We got a looming trade war with China, and really, who knows if that'll end up being positive or negative in the long run. We'll just have to see how everything works out. I think some of the things they've done, they're trying to negotiate with other countries to get better trade deals, and I actually think that some of that is smart. I sure know for a fact that the dumb free trade policies we had before were bankrupting this country, and especially the Midwest, where I am from, and states like Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin have been hit so hard by these terrible free trade policies. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But back to the issue of Syria, I really think this is a distraction. I can't help but feel that way. Obviously, we don't have a direct interest in Syria other than maybe oil interest or strategic interest with it being in the Middle East. But we've got no business being in Syria, just as we had no business being there 7 years ago during the Obama administration when some of the hawks that worked for Barack were pushing for a war. So we'll have to wait, see how it plays out. We know that Trump says things that he doesn't necessarily mean quite a bit. He's known for his bluster. He's known for saying dumb things at times. And so I don't think if we really planned on hitting Syria that you go out there and spout all this BS on Twitter, but who knows? He's the Twitter president, right? So we'll have to wait, see how it plays out. Get a swig of my Corona here.